Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take something complex, strip it down, and really try to pull out the core insights for you.
Yeah, get right to the heart of it.
Exactly. So today we're looking at those really tough moments, when you feel completely overwhelmed, struggling deep down.
Mm-hmm.
And our source is a quiet time reflection based on an ancient scripture, Psalm 77. It's dated June 18th, 2025.
Ancient text, modern struggles, it's always relevant.
Right. And our mission really is to see how this ancient writing speaks to our experience right now. Pain, doubt, finding a way through. Okay, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So the reflection throws us right into Psalm 77, the first 9 verses. And it's just raw, like incredibly honest.
No holding back.
None. The writer is overwhelmed, can't sleep, crying out constantly, actively refusing comfort, moaning, spirit fainting, even unable to speak sometimes.
Wow.
We've all touched that kind of isolation, haven't we? That feeling.
Yeah.
He's not pretending he's okay. Not at all.
And what's really fascinating here, something the reflection highlights, is this isn't just venting. It's presented as lament, as a form of worship.
Lament as worship. How so?
Well, it kind of pushes back against that pressure to always be positive, It shows that deep pain, really facing it, can actually be a path towards spiritual connection, not something blocking it.
Okay, I see.
And this ancient feeling, it just connects so directly with how we feel overwhelmed today. It validates that saying, I'm really not okay, is, well, deeply human. It always has been.
That honesty is powerful. But then comes this line, verse 2, in the day of my trouble I seek the Lord. That feels like a turning point, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because it's easy to just shut down, right?
Yeah.
Or blame someone or just cry alone. But he seeks. What does the reflection say about that seeking, especially when you're feeling that low? Is it about getting answers?
Yeah, that's a great question. If we look at the bigger picture here, the reflection really emphasizes that seeking God in trouble isn't just a last resort. It's framed as like an invited act of faith, an intimate one.
Well,
It's invited, even with the anger and pain.
especially then. It makes it super clear that God isn't scared off by your questions or your tears or your big doubts. He actually welcomes them, even if you feel like you're just screaming into nothingness. The reflection highlights that even when God feels miles away, he's actually incredibly close, taking in all that raw honesty. So seeking isn't weakness, you see. It's trust.
And the psalmist definitely brings the honesty. He asks these incredibly direct, almost challenging questions in verses 7 to 9.
Oh, yeah. Brutal questions.
Like, will the Lord spurn forever? Has his steadfast love forever ceased? Are his promises totally finished? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he, slammed the door on compassion out of anger?
I mean, those cut right to the bone, don't they? They voice our absolute deepest fears when we're really suffering. Fears about God's very character.
Exactly.
And the reflection tackles these head on. The takeaway is clear. You don't need to pretty up your pain for God. You don't need to hide the doubt.
Seeking him with those hard questions, those challenges, that itself is faith. Which brings up this crucial point about trust, right? Trusting even when it's silent.
Trusting when you feel nothing.
Yeah. Believing that even if you don't feel him, his love hasn't actually stopped. He's still holding you. It's like this deep spiritual wrestling match, and God's actually okay with that. He invites it.
But he doesn't just stay stuck in those questions,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The reflection points out a shift later in the psalm.
That's key. Absolutely. He shifts from the lament, the immediate pain, to remembering.
Remembering what?
Remembering God's past actions, his faithfulness through history, his mighty deeds. It's not about denying the current struggle at all. No, it's about anchoring it, grounding the present pain in the bedrock of past truth, recalling who God has consistently been and what he has done. That gives perspective.
So it's not just trying to feel better, but recalling facts.
Exactly. It's a deliberate act of recalling objective truths about God's character and history. That shows that even when our feelings scream otherwise, his nature hasn't changed. He remains steadfast.
So what this whole deep dive seems to be revealing then through the psalm and the reflection is this really powerful invitation.
Yeah.
To face your pain directly, openly, and crucially, trustfully.
That's well put.
It suggests you're seen, you're heard, even when you're wrestling with the biggest questions, the deepest doubts. And there's a way through that involves both that raw honesty and that intentional remembering.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about is this. What might happen if you embraced total honesty about your struggles, even when God feels completely silent? Could that open up some new kind of inner peace, maybe, or strength?
That's a powerful thought.
And maybe think about how you can practice trusting you're heard, even if you don't feel it right now, perhaps by deliberately recalling those moments of steadfast love, whether in your own life or just in the bigger story. Just something to consider.